what's going on, guys? Your boy Ghost here, and today we're going to be going over the TWID. I'm never going to be calling this TWID again. I'm still going to call it the TWAB. Don't care. Yesterday, well, not even yesterday, last week, they came out with a tweet on the Destiny 2 team's Twitter talking about how they wanted to hear how we thought about the Destiny sandbox. And I'm assuming in this TWAB, they go over it. So it's going to go over it. It's going to read everything. I'm going to give my opinions. I'm going to bounce my opinions off you opinions in the comments. We can go back and forth and see what everybody's feeling about the game right now. All right, let's get into it. First question. In PvE, ability uptime is very high and has increased despite the global changes on the base cooldowns. What are your current thoughts on the ability energy economy? Sorry. Okay. The gameplay team has answered, responding with, the ability energy economy is something we are always evaluating and adjusting. With the massive number of sources that can grant ability energy, it is always an area of concern. While we don't have any sweeping changes to announce today, this is a continual area of us to focus on. The Destiny's identity is fundamentally rooted in space magic power fantasies, but we don't have ability uptime to balloon to a point, or we don't want ability uptime to balloon to a point where a power spike from active ability ceases to become a spike okay, so active ability ceases to become a spike and becomes the norm. Understandable. Okay, next question. With aspects, armor mods, and artifact perks that rely on players being able to throw or destroy their own created tangles, the cooldown can be frustrating. What is the intent behind tangle creation cooldown time, and what are their plans to revisit this? Or are there any plans to revisit this? Okay, this is a good question. Okay. During strand development, we experimented with a significantly lower tangle creation cooldown. When the tangle cooldown was too low, combat became extremely chaotic with random explosions going off all over the battlefield. We didn't have any plans to go back to that level of uptime, but we agreed to that competition around tangles can be frustrating. In Season 22, we're currently planning on reducing tangle time from 15 seconds to 12 seconds. That's not bad. By the way, if I sound stuffy at all, I guess I got a cold or something. I don't know. It's not COVID though, so I ain't mad. Anyway, continuing. Broodweavers are intended to be the minion master of Strand, but Threadlings can be underwhelming and high-end content, especially with the potency of Suspend. Are there any other plans to adjust this relationship going forward? Also a good question, because Threadlings are pretty mid once you get above like legend content. They freaking tickle enemies. So let's see. We're working on a two-pronged approach to this problem in Season 22. We agree that it can be hard for Threadlings to feel valuable as combatant health increase in higher difficulty PvE content. We also believe that Suspend is currently too strong in PvE. Uh-oh. That's not good. For Season 22, we're implementing a sizable increase of Threadling damage across PvE targets and reducing the duration of uptime of Suspend sources in PvE. In addition, we're making a change to Broodweaver's new restraint aspect of Wanderer to address the community feedback regarding its potency. I wish they expanded on that, because I would like to know more about it, because the Wanderer, it's not the best, but it's not the worst for aspect either. So that's not bad. Titans. Suspend Titans, aka the Suspend the Fool build you guys saw on my freaking fashion show video. I don't think this is going to be a big of a deal because of how fast we get our barricade back. Yeah, it may not be as long as a Suspend, but of how often we get it back, I think we'll be fine. We just got to take even more advantage to kill a thing that's suspended even faster, and that's usually not an issue. Okay, how does the team feel about the current suite of grenades? Another good question. Okay. I read some of the tweets that were under the main tweet that Destiny the team tweeted, and some of these questions made me a little bit scared. I'm glad they picked some good ones to go over. While we want all grenades to feel viable, some grenades are fundamentally better suited for specific situations and modes. We don't expect perfect equalization as a result, but we want to avoid situations where a single option is clearly the best across many different combat roles. For Season 22, we're making some small adjustments to uptime and a few underperforming grenade options. As well, as we move forward, we'll continue to evaluate and adjust overperforming grenades and underperforming options as needed for the health of the sandbox. In this situation, I'm hoping and praying that they roll back the nerf to skip grenades. Because I used to love skip grenades. And they told us, hey, we're nerfing skip grenades. Like before R 3.0 came out, they said, hey, we're nerfing skip grenades preemptively because they're going to be too strong in R 3.0. And now they're trash. They're useless. They're not worth using at all. Like, why use that when you got like shockwave grenades, storm grenades, all that stuff. So those are good questions. Let's get into the weapons team. Okay. Question: Can/will hand cannons get a buff? Not to quite Shadowkeep levels, but at least something. Weapons teams. Note that hand cannons are node has been touched several times over the past years. The current PvE damage numbers mean that compared to pre-Shadowkeep, they currently deal roughly the same damage per crit, almost double the body damage, and reverting to Shadowkeep numbers would be a substantial nerf for anyone who ever misses a crit, which we're not planning to do. To the overall balanced PvE, has changed substantially over the last few years, and some weapons have suffered as a result. We agree though which is why hand cannons got an extra 20% damage bonus in the season 20 mid-season update. This didn't move the needle as much as we'd like. Hand cannons still struggle to find a niche in PvE. Their damage output is comparable to other weapon types, but the reload speed and smallish magazine makes it painful to run out of ammo. True. There is some room to bump them up a little bit more against the minor enemies, but what if we did that and they looked like became a primary ammo option for chunking down tougher single enemies? Here's what we're currently playtesting for future season. Numbers may still change. Along with quick preview of specific hand cannons that we felt languished more than most. Increased reload speed stat at 0 to by 15%. This benefit scales down as an increasing stat, with 100% stat being unchanged. This is a substantial benefit to hand cannons with low reload stats, which includes several aggressive and precision hand cannons. I mean, I guess so, but like most precision hand cannons have deeper reserves, so the reload is not too bad. But aggressive is 140, right? I gotta be smart. Aggressive is 140. Precision is 180s. I gotta make 100% sure. Hold on, chat. Make 100% sure. Checking them. Aggressives is 120. Okay. Adaptives is 140. I'm sorry. Heavy burst hand cannons. There's literally only one of these in the game. Just like there's only one of the horizontal shooting fusion rifles on Coriolis is his Thorus from Beyond Light. Heavy burst hand cannons. Change the Warden of Law legendary hand cannon to be the first member of the new subfamily, heavy burst hand cannons. This fires 2 rounds burst, and this overall much more satisfying to use than the previous version, while still benefiting from the same unique properties of the original. So it fires a 2-round burst instead of 2 bullets at the same time, which is not too bad. Because before, if you guys don't know, Warden's Law, I even have one of these. Let me show y'all. I know y'all probably don't even know what we're talking about. Warden's Law. This is Warden's Law. Warden's Law is that old one from freaking Forsaken that fired 2 shots from the different barrels. It was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. Look at the perks. Yes, go. And then the second bullet just misses. So that's what they're talking about. To the next question. Kinetic weapons seem to be falling behind as builds get more intricate. Are there plans or ideas to make them more interesting to help integrate them into builds? They picking some great questions. We've also noted this. We poked at the issue a little with an increased damage increases with the damage increase versus unshielded enemies and the kinetic tremors perk, but we also prioritize shipping more strand and stasis weapons in the kinetic slot to equalize both the numbers a little more. Equalize both of these numbers a little and ensure that all slots can tie into build crafting. We're continuing to look at the kinetic and have something planned over the year of the final shape timeline that may make this a little more unique, but maybe it's time for the kinetic subclass. Probably not. What would a kinetic subclass even look like? Freaking, I don't even know. I don't want to know. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's not no hint, though. I don't think they would just come out and say kinetic subclass if they were really making one. Anyway, next question. How is the team feeling about the current state of glaives? What about the exotics? We've got a substantial glaive tuning pass coming in the future. Currently, this is for season 23. That's 3 seasons out for you guys. Aiming to make this more satisfying to use, particularly in PvP. I doubt any of these changes do anything. We are not happy with the current state of the class-specific exotic glaives and are making some major changes to them when we touch glaives up all up. This will likely take the form of adjusting how players activate the exotic perk along with some other changes. Overall, some of them are just pretty mid. Like, the Titan one is okay for like snow globe strat, but that's about it. Another question, how do you determine what gets nerfed and what gets buffed? Do these parameters change season over season? Just to comment on the persistent Bungie balances based on usage and narrative, this is not the case. See below. But note, that if something is widely overused, in many cases that is because it's both strong and easy to use. Players typically won't flock to a specific weapon if drills is perfectly balanced. When we're deciding on what to do for a balance pass, we look over the 5 main sources of information to identify what ought to look at. Internal feedback from playtesting. Designers have 10 plus hours of playtest a week. Our own experiences playing the live game. Designers typically play the game heavily, and we carve out a little time for each other each week to fire a team up for some raids and trials. They be doing raids. I wonder if they like tweak the numbers to make sure they get the exotic. Who knows? Weapon effectiveness. EG kills per time equipped with win rate and weapon equipped and so forth. Design analysis. Design analysis of the implementation of a weapon, looking through weapon perks and other data that to see if something is obviously wrong. Having pulled together a list of weapons, we'll go through them and identify what's contributing to the issue. In some cases, it's innate to the weapon itself, and we'll just adjust it. But in other cases, it's specific to weapon perk / combo weapon, specific perk to perk combo. The overall weapon type rather than a single weapon or a lack of competition, and we can address this issue without touching the weapon in question. Yes, some of the logic for which weapons get attention change depending on the focus of season. If you have a high representation of weapons, typically a weapon type in the season artifact, we're shipping several of the new or reprised weapons for a specific type or encounters that play well with specific weapon types. We'll dig into the matching weapon to make sure they're performing well with the seasonal focus from other teams. For example, in the past, we've had seasons that revolved. Reading too fast. In the past, we've had seasons that revolved around high density close range encounters, which matching artifact unlocked and revisited the tuning of submachine guns and grenade launchers. So they're basically saying yes, we do, but they're basically saying Bungie balances on usage. It may not be. From what I'm reading so far, it basically means like, hey, that's not we do it, yes, but it's not the only way we think about nerfing or buffing a weapon. Well, not bad. Any exotic tuning plan for the future, and what's the thought and process behind those planned changes? Okay. Like I said, these are some great questions. Good job, guys. Good job. Just to get some context of the timelines, we've just shipped season 21, season 20. We've just shipped season 21. Season 22 is complete. Season 23 is in full production, and the final shape is entering early production. We'll talk about this in a minute. We have a small set of changes of the exotic weapons coming in season 22 that we've been playtesting for the last few months, including the long-awaited PvP nerf to Le Monarch. So you're telling me Le Monarch isn't getting nerfed in PvP until season 23? Season 22? That's 2 seasons. A buff to Touch of Malice, W. A couple of minor changes and other exotics. Some tweaks to legendary perks such as Bipod, Shoot to Loot, Under Over. I'm assuming the Shoot to Loot is probably going to be them because they said they were going to make it more, they make it activate with like weapon perks like Explosive Head, Explosive Payload, Kinetic Tremor, and stuff like that. So we already know about this. Bipod I'm interested in. Because this could either be 2 things. They could lower I think it's like a 40% damage debuff if you have Bipod on, but it gives you more rockets and give you a rocket in the thing. Gives you a rocket in the holster as well, instead of just one. This is good, but it could also be like I said, they're lowering the debuff. What they could also be is fixing the Bipod swap glitch. It could be either of those. It could be both. Who knows? Under Over. This perk needs a buff because right now would probably well, no, actually not even true. Season of the Ward probably would have been like the best opportunity to use it, but we'll see. Also, bear in mind that the zoom to damage fall off normalization, that sword and the sword guard rework are coming in season 22 and affect the exotic weapons as well. We've pulled several well-tested changes from season 22 into season 21 mid-season balance update, which we'll talk about shortly before it ships. As usual, we're making exotic catalysts for an older exotic weapon season 22, and this one has been heavily requested. It is likely the most complex catalyst we've ever made. The process for exotic tuning is looking at pain points around the underperforming weapons. Okay. This process for exotic tuning is looking at... Oh, I just literally just said that. I'm stupid. The process for exotic tuning is looking at pain points around the underperforming weapons, and honestly just looking at the 20 least used exotics weapons, and we poke at that list every season. Now, I'm guessing that it's Thorn. And if Thorn get a catalyst, and it adds just a little bit of range. We going back to D1 Trials meta. Last word, thorns everywhere. Maybe some buzzards. Who knows? Last word, ace and thorn. Let me find out if we get a thorn buff. I will put on my necrotic grips. Let's see though. Exotic armor build crafting. My favorite exotic armor could use a buff. Any plans to continue balancing legacy exotic armor? Armor team answers. There are many exotic armors that we want to get more used in the sandbox, and a few that still feel a little too strong. It's in our intention to continue to balance exotic armor incrementally over time. You can look forward to the next batch of changes in Season 22. So we gotta wait 2 seasons. It's 2 seasons, right? Yeah, 2 seasons, because we're in Season 20. You gotta wait 2 seasons for some more exotic changes, but at least we know. I mean, it's better to know than not to know. Are there any plans for more exotic armor interaction with exotic weapons? Yes, 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 please. Like necrotic grips, like necrotic grips has with weapons of sorrow. Well, these special and connections between exotics are the best way when they are rare and a little bit hidden. That being said, we would like to add more to them to the game, especially for Hunters and Titans. Keep an eye out for the future. Let me find out that I could use, I don't know. That freaking, I just want to say, whoever came out with the freaking barricade bomb, the Baronade chess piece, you deserve a raise, because it's fun, it's something we don't got, and it's something usable. It's like, that's something that you would never think of adding ever, and it's usable. So you deserve a raise. Congratulations, you're great. You're breathtaking, as Keanu Reeves would say. Continuing to go. Like I said though, let's scroll back to this question so I can continue to go. I missed the Stompies one. Let's go back after that. Okay. But I am happy to see. I did not know it was with all weapons of sorrow. But I mean, it does make sense. Actually, no, I didn't know. I'm thinking that all weapons of sorrow will include like touch mounds, but it doesn't. It's just thorn and osteo. So, okay. Now, can you explain the recent Stompy changes? This is what the PvP community needs to hear. Stompies provided a great neutral game benefits that excel in PvP and have potential to make it very difficult to target a hunter wearing them. Thanks to its unique nature of Hunter Jump, which allows them for rapid direction changes mid-air, our goal is to make them a little more or less free, so that the wearer can still gain the benefit, but at the small amount of downtime each time a player uses the dodge, which itself provides numerous benefits since many armor mods key off of the use of your class ability. That being said, we will continue to monitor how Stompies is performing and will make further changes if necessary. I think this is a balance changed. I don't play Hunter. Jesus, stuff he knows is getting on my nerves. I don't play Hunter as much in PvP, even though I do enjoy Hunter PvP. Love Hunter PvP. I love throwing freaking wombo combo nades. But anywho, back to the conversation. Hunters in PvP is fun. And let's be honest here. Stompy, if they want to, well, you keep saying that Stompy's nerf for change. Let's just change every exotic, every movement exotic to the same thing Stompy's got. And they did that. Nobody would complain. Let's be honest here. If they made it so Dunes did not give you the speed boost and everything, if you don't got your class ability, I'd be fine with it. Everyone's gonna be like, okay, well, you do it to Warlock with steps. Let's be honest, Warlocks don't use steps. They use Ophidians. And if they're not using Ophidians, they're using Osmiomancy. And if they're not using Osmiomancy, they might use freaking something else. And then steps at the bottom of the list because there's so many other good PvP exotic for Warlocks. Swarmers, other stuff, anything that you could use. So, we'll see. Will we ever see any pre-Lightfall armor mods come back? We are paying close attention to how the current armor mod system is performing, as well as how it's being received. It is our goal that the base armor mods are straightforward and approachable. They should always be behind the scenes foundation of your build, not the star elements. Okay, that's understandable. We do want to experiment with fun, novel ways to interact with Ola's power, armor charge, and other armor mod systems, and plan to do so via the seasonal artifact. I mean, this is cool and all, but if a seasonal artifact isn't too busted and it is really good, it could eventually come back as a regular mod, and I'd be fine with it. Anywho, let's continue. Miscellaneous questions. Can we favorite shaders soon, please? Rewards UIX popping up. Okay. Rewards UIUX popping in here to answer this one. Okay. Lord, I'm bad at reading. We're hesitant to talk too much about complex features that aren't far enough along to attach specific releases, but we're going to share info on something new feature, something news. We're going to be sharing info, some new features. This is not spelled correctly. We're going to be sharing some info on some new features in the same vein really soon. Okay. Questions. Are there details or confirmations regarding the HUD and UI updates that were previously mentioned? We talk about more of this. We'll talk about more about this when we have something to show closer to the final shape. All right. That's it. Not bad. Overall, I'm excited to see more exotic armors that pair with weapons. Very excited about that. Stomping changes. We can go on and on about the stomping changes. No one are going to agree. Like I said, I'm excited for more weapons that work together with the armor. This was very insightful so we can understand why they nerf and buff weapons. Really understandable, really good. Current set of glaives. We'll see how this comes out in season 23. And yeah, that's about it. I gave my thoughts along the way. Tell me guys what you guys think below in the comments as well. I appreciate all you guys being here and showing so much love in these videos lately. We're going to be pushing for YouTube partner program soon because they just cut the freaking requirements in half. So if you guys would like to help me hit 500 subscribers, please click that subscribe button below. And right next to it, click the like button. And right next to that, click the notification button. All right. I appreciate all you guys being here. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.